How do you define yourself? If I asked you to grab a dictionary, flip to the page in the dictionary that's got your name and the definition of who you are next to it, what would that definition say? Because the reality is that definition is your self-worth. That definition is what you will accept out of your life. That definition exemplifies your standards. And our self-worth and our standards, that's what determines how we feel. And how we feel determines the actions we take, which results in our destiny, which results in who we actually become. So in this video, we're going to talk about how you can improve your self-worth and increase your standards so that you can live a better quality of life. So let's get right to it. I'm Brandon Eastman with BeBetterIndustries.com, and on this YouTube channel we talk about peak performance, mindset, and achievement. Achievement towards your goals and achievement towards who you want to become. So if you're new here, hit the subscribe button below and be sure to hit the bell. That way you're notified of all new videos that we release every single Monday. And while you're down there, smash that like button because it helps out the channel, and it will also get this video in front of more people who want to know how to improve their self-worth and increase their standards. And I've been getting a lot of emails lately saying, hey Brandon, my name is blah blah blah, and my struggle is I have no self-worth. So I always respond the same thing to these people who email me. And by the way, I'm so happy they email me because it gives me an opportunity to help them. And that's why I'm creating this video, is because of those emails I get. And I always respond the same thing. I say to them, who are you? How do you define yourself? And I always get the same answer back. They always say, what do you mean? I don't have a definition. Or if I ask about them, they tell me what they do for work, or they tell me about their shortcomings in the past. You see, so often when we're at a social gathering or a party and somebody says, tell me about you, we automatically resort to what we do professionally. We resort to what we do for the company that we work for. We resort to telling them that we are a student of this college. Imagine if you looked at them and you gave them a deeper answer. Imagine if you looked at them and said, I help people to make more money and feel better about life. Or I help people to lose weight and get into their dream body. People would be like, wow, that's really interesting. Tell me more about that. You see, we have to have a definition for our life. And I want to give you 3 things that will help you to improve your self-worth and increase your standards. And the first thing is this: you have to define yourself the way that you want to be so that you can become the person that you want to become. Otherwise, you're going to become all these random things and you won't even know how to define yourself. So let me explain what I mean by that, okay? I want you to think of yourself as a product. I want you to imagine that you go to Amazon.com and you type in your name and a big picture of your beautiful face comes popping up. And there's a price next to it, but most importantly, there's a description. Right? When you buy things, unless you already know what you want, what's one of the first things you do? You look at the description and then you read the reviews. But we're just going to talk about the description first. You see, the problem a lot of people have is they don't have a description for the most important product of all, themselves. And when I say description, let me give you an actual example of what I mean. Let me show you my own description of who I am. So you want to have a definition, preferably written in a journal or a notebook or something, even if it's scrap paper for now so you can write it down in a journal later. But do this with me. Pretty much this is the definition that I live by. And I'm going to tell you how I use this in my own life in a bit here, but this is my definition. I am Brandon Eastman. I am influential. I am enthusiastic. And I am a messenger of transformation. I help other people to destroy the limiting beliefs that hold them back and create positive momentum to help them make progress faster. I am a teacher. I help others to achieve their goals and live a better life by showing them what strategies have worked for me personally and also for other people. I am confident. I am loud, and I am unapologetically honest with my advice and feedback with the intention of serving others. I am a loving husband, a son, a brother of 2, and a leader, both personally and professionally. I am committed to my goals and my dreams, and will ethically and responsibly do whatever it takes to make them a reality. I am Brandon Eastman, and I will always strive to be the light in the lives of other people. So that's my product description. And when people ask about me, I'm able to look at them and say, my name is Brandon, and I help people to live a better life by doing this. Now, your description doesn't have to be about helping other people. Usually, though, you'll find that after a while, it will become that. Because eventually, you'll have a lot of your own struggles figured out. You'll find the strategy that allows you to overcome the obstacles in your way. And there's always difficulties, there's always troubles. I'm not gonna brush those aside. But eventually, you'll have a really good handle on you so that you can place most of your focus on helping other people, which is what brings true fulfillment into your life. So step 1 is to define yourself. Know what to tell people when they ask about who you are. And the second way to improve your self-worth and increase your standards is to become really good at one thing. Become the best in your town, in your city, in your state, in the world at a specific skill. You don't want to be really good at a lot of things. You just want to hone in on one thing, because in today's world, I also get a lot of questions saying, Brandon, how can I make more money? I'm struggling financially. And this has a lot to do with self-worth, right? If you have low self-worth, you're probably not making a lot of money. Not always, but that's how it usually goes. And if you want to make more money, you need to bring more value to the marketplace and to other people. And in order to bring more value, you have to be good at something and amazing at something that other people aren't. And if you can do for others what they can't do for themselves, that's where the exchange of money comes into play. If you give more value, you will always receive money. It's just how the world works. And in order to become valuable, you've got to be good at something that most people aren't. So for me, I always study and improve my communication skills. I improve my teaching and my coaching ability, because I know that no matter what happens in my life, my ability to teach you something that can help you will always be financially viable for me. And you can choose whatever skill that you have interest in. You have to like it, because you're going to be spending a lot of time getting better at this skill and this ability. But once you define what that skill or ability is that you want to improve in, dive into it. Find a mentor, read books, watch YouTube videos, but most importantly, practice. Perfect practice. Meaning, find strategies that have been proven to work and do them over and over and over in order to improve in that skill. We're in the information age. You can find out how to do anything within the snap of your fingers. That's how you're watching this video right now, because you want to improve your self-worth. So step 2 is to get insanely good at a skill or ability and use it to help other people, because that always makes you feel good. And step 3, now that you have the definition for who you are in your life, it's time to take that and actually believe it. Because you can write down a nice definition of who you are, but unless you believe it, unless it's ingrained in your nervous system, then it's not really gonna matter so much, because you don't believe it. And in order for you to improve your self-worth, you are the most important person to actually have to believe the definition that you wrote down, right? It just makes sense. So in order to believe something, we have to say it to ourselves over and over and over, and look at it over and over, and live that definition. We actually have to act with intention to live our life the way that definition of us would live our life. So the way you do that is you tell yourself something over and over. It's called auto-suggestion, and I've talked about it before. The more you read something, the more you do something, the more you become that thing. And this is the way that I do it. Every single morning, I'm up at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. It depends on the day of the week. And one of the first things I do in my morning routine is I grab my journal and I write down my power list for the day. If you don't know what the power list is, then check out this link up here and you can watch that video. It'll help you become more productive and get more done. But after my power list, I visualize for 10 to 15 minutes of the person that I want to be and the person I want to become. And I take this definition and I read it out loud every single morning. And then I close my eyes and I imagine myself living the life of the person in that definition. I imagine myself doing all of the things that I wrote down. I imagine myself having the results that this person in the definition would have. Because after you define yourself, you actually have to see it in your mind's eye before it becomes a reality. Let me talk to you about the power of visualization. Okay, this is a story about 3 basketball teams at the college in Chicago. I believe it's the University of Chicago. You can look this up too. And there was 3 basketball teams. And over a 30-day period, they told one of these basketball teams to stop playing the game of basketball altogether. So they stopped. They didn't practice at all. They didn't even think about basketball. And then they took the second of the 3 teams and they told them, we want you to practice playing basketball the same way that you have forever. Just keep playing, keep practicing your free throws, and keep doing everything you've been doing for the next 30 days. So they said, okay, and they did that. And then there was the 3rd basketball team, who they told to go into the gym while the second team was practicing every day. And they told the 3rd team to just lay on the floor while the other team was practicing. And while the 3rd team was on the floor, they told them to visualize themselves shooting free throws for the full 30 minutes to an hour of practice every single day for the next 30 days. And what they found was so incredible. The team that didn't practice playing basketball at all, I think you can guess what happened. They didn't show any signs of improvement because they weren't doing it. The second team, who actually shot free throws and practiced the game of basketball every single day, showed a 24% improvement in their free throws after 30 days of doing it. And the 3rd team, the team that only thought of playing basketball, the team that didn't even physically touch a basketball in 30 days, all they did was see themselves throwing free throws. They improved their game by 23%. They didn't even play, but because they saw themselves doing it, they got the same improvements. They were off by 1%, but they practically got the same improvements as the team that was actually doing it. So how does this relate to us? Well, when we see ourselves living our definition, when we see ourselves living our product description, then we actually become what it is that we write down. So it's important to be very intentional with how you define yourself, who you say you are, because that will determine your self-worth and increase your standards. So step 1, define yourself. What is your product description? Step 2 is to master a skill, become so good at it that you are irreplaceable. And step 3 is to take that product description and actually believe it by telling it to yourself over and over and visualize yourself acting as if you are already this person. If you want more tips and strategies, click the first link in the description to download my free ebook, Be Extraordinary, Your Guide to Self-Mastery. While you're down there, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, that way you see all new videos every single Monday, and hit the like button if you found value in this video so other people can see it too. And until we talk again, continue to be better.